In this video, I want to talk a little bit more about something that isn't necessarily related to productivity or focus, but sometimes you battle this specific thing. And especially if you're on this path, I know many people have experienced it. I've experienced it many times before as well. And especially over the last decade of staying focused, staying productive. And I know a lot of other people on this journey, they try to do the same thing and they want to eliminate things that aren't keeping them on that path. And one of the things that I did was sacrifice time with family. And I know there's many other people that are also doing the same thing. They're sacrificing time from spending time with loved ones. And to be honest, yes, it could have a good effect in the long run if things move as quickly as you want them to move. And that way you could spend the rest of your life, spoiling your loved ones, because I would say that a lot of people are doing the missions that they're doing so that way they can spend more time with their loved ones, right? But majority of the time, you have to understand that business, entrepreneurship, it takes time to build. And you're still learning majority of the time. And once you gain a bunch of success, sometimes you lose it all and you have to build it all up again. And you have to keep sacrificing time year after year from the people that you love. And I've experienced this many times over the last decade. I've missed birthdays. I've missed certain events where my entire family was there and they would have loved for me to be there and I would have loved to be there as well. But I wouldn't say I was like blinded. Maybe at the time it's related to being like blinded. I'm just blinded by just having tunnel vision completely and not letting anything get in the way. So that way you can spend more time with them later in the future. That's the thing that's driving you. But as I've grown to understand a few things about time, sometimes when you're younger, you don't really think about it in the reverse effect. You think about future term rather than past. What do I mean by that? When you're 18, 19, 20, early 20s, sometimes even 30s, whatever, you look into the future a lot. Well, okay, cool. I want to make sure that I can do X, Y, Z in the future for my people, for myself. I want to live this type of lifestyle, whatever that might look like. So you sacrifice the things such as spending time with loved ones. And it could be anything, right? It doesn't necessarily need to just be spending time with loved ones, but I'm emphasizing on this idea of spending time with loved ones because once you get past those points and you've achieved a certain level of success, and maybe you haven't achieved the level of success that you want. Now you've just had 5, 10, 15 years of, like missing out on those events that you're never going to be able to get back, that time that you're never going to be able to get back. Now that's the past tense. Looking back and like, wow, I missed out on all that time. And here's the grand scheme of things, guys. The day, the 2 days, the 3 days that you spend with your family, the week that you spend with your family out of an entire year, entire 6 months is not going to affect your business. Nothing, it's not going to do anything wild to your business. As long as majority of the time, yes, you are spending time on building your business. There's not family events that are happening every single day. There's not birthdays that are happening every single week, okay, within your close loved one circles. It happens every now and then. And I would say go and spend time with the people that you love. Use that time, guys, because you're never going to get those moments back. And when I was 18, 19, 20, I would just look into the future. I'm like, well, I'm going to miss out on this. Yeah, I understand. But in the future, I'll be able to do X, Y, Z. Sure, now I'm in those positions where I could do X, Y, Z with the people that I love, but there's a sense of not regretting it and regretting it at the same time. Because now I understand really if I took those days off to spend time with family, sure, I might have missed out time in the business and it really in the grand scheme of things would not have really affected the business. But what I've gained, I would have gained memories with the people that I love. And that is one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people in entrepreneurship will find, or maybe they find that's missing. It's not so much of just the money. Money is a part of it, but it's who you're doing it with. It's the people that are around you, okay? Your life, your quality of life feels really good. It feels fulfilled depending on the people that are around you. If you have a ton of money, but you don't have great people around you and you're not surrounded by loved ones and you don't have memories with loved ones, it feels vague and empty. It doesn't feel, there's no purpose behind the money, right? Which is, again, the whole reason why a lot of people set out on this journey to get rich. I know for a fact is so that way they could take care of themselves, their future family, and their current family. But then they neglect the time that they could spend with their family now. So if you're in a position where you're an aspiring entrepreneur or you're somebody that isn't, you're more established, understand taking that day off, those 2 days off, that week off to spend it with your loved ones. I guarantee you that you're going to cherish those memories. And I'm not the only one. If you live with your family, it might be a little bit different. You're like, dude, I see you all the freaking time. But when you move away, and I do think that if you're on the path of entrepreneurship and growing as an individual, I think moving away is one of the best things that you could do for yourself. You're learning to be independent, and doing it at a very young age, I think, is very, very important. You move away. Yes, you move away from your loved ones, and it sucks. And usually the first move is the hardest, but doing that is going to build character, and it's going to build a sense of being independent. So you being away for so long, I'm telling you, spending time with the people that you love is going to fulfill you so much. Again, if you live with them, it's not really going to feel like that maybe. But if you've been away and then you go and spend time with them every now and then, whenever there's an event, whenever there's birthdays, later on in life, you're going to love the fact that you did that. You're going to have those moments with them, those memories with them. And as your business grows, the type of moments and the experiences that you have within those moments will also grow, which is what a lot of people are chasing after anyways. They want to create better experiences for their families, for their loved ones. So have a gradual progression maybe. At least the moments are going to be there. You spend moments with them while you're broke or while you're growing. And as you're growing, the experiences that you're having with them are only being amplified because of you and because of your businesses. Because again, you're going to be spending more time on your businesses than you're spending with them anyways. Okay, so those few days, those weeks out of an entire year that you're really focused on your business, that you will be spending with your family for that short period of time, is not really going to affect anything. So as much as I talk about productivity and focus and eliminating the things that take you away from the day-to-day tasks, it's simply that, the things that take you away from the day-to-day tasks. Your family is not going to take you away from the day-to-day task. If you're moved away and you're on your path to entrepreneurship, you probably don't really see them a whole lot, okay? So I'm talking to a specific group of people that have already moved away, right? So if you're living at home and you're watching this, it's the same message for you, okay? You're an aspiring entrepreneur. You want to grow, you want to build. The moments that you can spend with your family, spend it with them. Because if you ever do move out, and majority of the time you will, you're going to live, in your own home, hopefully your own apartment or whatever it is, you're going to be away from family. Even then, even if you're not building a business, you have a 9-to-5 job, the moments that you spend with your family, you're going to cherish those moments. So even if you're living at home now, spend time with your family when you can, okay, when you can, and when it seems suitable, birthdays, certain events, whatever, do those things. And when you move away, I'm telling you, you're going to love the fact that you did. And then now that you moved away, those times when you can go and actually spend with them, do that. Still, majority of the time, focus on your business so that way you give them better experiences. Cool. But go and spend time with them, all right? Productivity, focus, all that kind of stuff. Keep that in on the things that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis to build your business. Eliminate all the things that are taking you away from your productivity and focus, which I talk about in other videos. And if you want to go ahead and see a video where I talk about specifically the things that are taking you away from your focus, productivity, and how to boost your productivity, you could go to the video in the description down below and click on that and watch it. But just know, guys, look, you're going to die one day. Guys, as simple as that. You're going to be gone one day. The people that you love will be gone one day. And I'm not trying to say this to be grim, but time is running out. You're never going to be able to get your time back. Money is a resource. Okay, money is the number one thing that people are always chasing after. But once time is run out, guess what? That is the number one thing people wish they had more of. There's a question that people have been asked. If I was to give you $10 million right now, but you can't wake up tomorrow, would you take it? You're gonna say no. So that means you value time more than you do money. But in the moment, sometimes it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like you value time more than money, but you do, because it's the only thing that you cannot get back. Okay, so make sure that you spend time with the people that you love, create those moments with them. And once you do, keep focusing on your business. Okay, remember, just keep going. You're closer than you think.